Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to another round of Coffee and Questions. What's today's topic? We're going to talk about a Lasko oscillating fan. And why would I need that? Well, I put it in the bedroom and I put it on low with the windows open, and it moves quite a bit of air around and it works great. I own one. I've bought a second one now that's on its way because after owning the first one, I like the controls on this and I like the power that it has, and we'll get into the specifics of it, but let me show you a picture real quick. Okay, so here's a photo of it right here, 18-inch remote cyclone pedestal fan, built-in timer, and it's got adjustable height, oscillating movement, and you can go down and you can read through this, while I leave the picture up here. Runs quiet, efficient speeds, adjustable height, it tilts forward, it tilts back. It does oscillation, it moves right to left. It comes with a wireless remote, which is kind of a nice feature. I do like using it, and no tools to assemble. Okay, now after you've taken a moment, you read down through this, let's go through the things that are true and kind of not so true. But, that's the purpose of the discussion and the review. But let me show you a couple of other pictures before we start. Okay, so let's take a look at the features. Adjustable height. Yes, it does go up and down. We'll go over the specs in a minute. It has 3 speeds, low, medium, and high. It oscillates side to side and has a built-in timer. Well, what's the timer all about? You can set this with just a click of a button to run for 1 hour, shut itself off, 2 hours, or 3 hours. So if you don't want it to run continuously, it's kind of nice. It has that built-in timer for those 3 modes. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a close-up look at that control panel so that you see how easy this is. Okay, so right here, I blew this up the best I could before it starts getting too distorted. And you'll see the numbers here. Number 1, the bottom left, controls the fan speed, low, medium, and high. 2, you have that LED readout telling you, well, which one you're on in terms of speed. Or if you have set the timer, that'll come on too. You have the on and off button, and you have that easy to use timer where you can select, I'm sorry, I told you earlier 3 hours. It's 1 hour, 2 hour, or 4 hours. But those are your 3 selections in terms of, timer, which is still, if you don't want it on all the time, it's good. All right, let's move forward. I got another picture to show you, and then we'll do questions and answers. Okay, and so now I have up a picture of the remote. It's just a small plastic remote. It's got the fan speed timer, and it's got the power on and off button. Now, let's start digging into the discussion about this. It does not come with batteries. You will need 2 AAA batteries for this. And when you're using this remote, you have to point it directly at that control unit on the fan. So, you can't be across the room and then press, the button at an angle and expect it to work. That's what I found with the one that I got. It's not that big of a deal. I keep it on my nightstand, in the bedroom, and I can play with the adjustments or do whatever I want. Okay, so that's, about it, regarding the remote. But let's go back. Let's talk about the unit. Let's talk about the ups and downs of this. Okay, we'll start the question and answer part of this. The first question is, can you tell me about the height? I would tell you from the base all the way up, you're probably looking at close to 48 inches to the very top of the shroud. In terms of the fan and all that itself, you're looking at somewhere probably 43, 44 inches, to the blades. It's more than adequate to answer your question. Okay, how big are the blades? The blades are 18 inches. It puts out a lot of air movement. Yeah, this unit is mostly made out of, a lot of plastic. So people criticize that it's, it feels kind of flimsy and this and that. Yeah, I guess it kind of does. But look, it comes together real easy. Now, that front shroud that goes over and protects those blades, it clicks in with little plastic clips. Now, somebody said, well, in time they're going to break. Well, in time I can use black zip ties. Hopefully I don't have to, but that's a quick modification. And what I like about the on and off part of this and the clips, very easy to unclip, take apart, and you can clean this thing at lightning speed, put it back together, and bam, there you go. But yeah, I agree with you. The clips, they're plastic, a little on the flimsy side, but it's easy to clip on. It's easy to clip off. How do I clip it off? Use a screwdriver, standard size. Just fit it in somewhere on there and gently, like give it like a little lever action, and this whole thing will come right off. It's very easy to take on and off. Now, the question is it noisy? Well, that's a subjective kind of a question. I think on low, it's very quiet. It doesn't make that much noise. On medium, yeah, it makes a little bit more noise, obviously. And on high, it sounds like, you're on the runway listening to the propeller of an airplane, but it's moving one hell of a lot of air fast. So, it's like being in a wind tunnel on high speed. So it's kind of nice if you want to hurry up and move air and then bump it down. That's my best way I can answer that. Can you control the rotation, the oscillating by the remote? No, you can't. That's only, on the very top where you see that fan blade above my head. Behind there's a knob you can pull up and push down, and then that either creates the oscillation or gives it like a stagnant position. So no, not off of the remote. Can you buy an additional remote? Yes, you can. I will put the phone number up here to Lasko. They've got good customer service, and you can buy the additional remote. Do you need tools to put this thing together? No, you need no tools whatsoever. Everything just fits together, and we'll discuss that in a second. And so you don't need to worry about tools. It took me about 10-15 minutes to put this thing, together, even opening up the box. So very simple setup. Are the blades metal or are they plastic? No, they're plastic. Everything on this unit, except for probably the motor and the housing, a lot of it is made out of plastic. Where is it made? It's made in the USA. Right now, I think it's got a good price. I mean, at the $42.35 for what it is. I mean, you could buy better, I suppose, by throwing more money at it. But this, to me, in spite of things that people criticized it about, and we'll go over that real quickly here, there are some workarounds. Now, one of them was, when you put the pole into the base, it fits loose. Mine didn't. I read the instructions. I mean, when you put it in, just push down, not super hard, but just push down, and you'll kind of feel it snug up. Now, people say that's not true in all cases. Well, you can line the inside of the hole, with a piece of either, I don't want to say cardboard, that might be too thick. You can line the inside of it, with a couple of, paper wads or something, and it'll snug in there. Now, another guy just put a couple drops of epoxy on the pole and shoved it into the base, and boom, that solves your problem. But you can't just take it apart then when you want, because you've epoxied the base. So I don't plan to. If I have that problem, I'll probably do the epoxy part of this, so to secure it. How many watts does it use? On low, 63, medium, 85, and on high, 114. I don't stay concerned about the wattage, but that answers your question, I hope. What's the warranty? Well, the warranty is 1 year, and no, like I said, there's another comment keeps asking about batteries. It's not a big deal. It takes 2 AAAs, and no, there are no batteries that come with it. So, and does it tilt up and down? Yes, it does. I believe it's got probably 5 positions or something like that. I didn't check them, but if you grab the housing, you can you'll hear it click downward, or you can grab it and point it up more towards the ceiling. I usually have it pointed down, towards where I'm at or thereabouts, so that you can feel, the air movement. How powerful is it? It's like I said, that's a subjective question. On high, it's like a hurricane, to be honest with you. How wide is the base? 20 inches. There's a couple of questions on here on the forum that when I posted the review on one of the forums, that somebody came back and said, hey, will it work in the Netherlands and will it work in Germany? Look, I don't know. I have no idea. It works in the US. It works off 110, standard current. I have no idea about in other countries. Okay, so what were the downsides? People didn't like the idea it was all made out of plastic. They didn't like how that pole fit loose in the stand, but like I said, not all of them do. They feel it was just a cheaply made unit. Yeah, it probably is, but it works sufficiently fine, like I said. The clips on the shroud, they worry about them breaking in time, but we discussed between zip ties, or whatever you want to use. It's not like you can't, fix it fast enough. You could use black zip ties, they'll never show. The grill on these, on the front and back, they're plastic instead of metal. It'll probably break in the long run. Well, it depends on you and how well you take care of it. I say it's too loud. Well, it gets louder on medium and really loud on high, but then don't forget these 18-inch blades are moving a lot of air. Safety issue, they feel the holes in that fan shroud are large and kids could put their fingers into it. Yeah, you're probably right. You're going to have to use some safety precautions in and around kids. Will it work with a smart plug? No, it won't. This is a quick review I'm doing on this. I think it's a good buy if it's something that you're interested in. I like having it. Saves, running the air conditioning or, running the heating. I mean, depending on if it's winter time and I have the fireplace going, I can put it, it is mobile enough. I can put it around and create much more air movement, depending on what I'm doing. And it's it's a nice thing to have. And I run it at night on low. It doesn't bother me, when you go in to go to bed. On medium or high, it might, but I don't really think you're going to want that much air moving on you anyway when you're sleeping. But, that's what its job is to move a lot of air very quickly. So you can complain about the noise level on those higher speeds, but I don't, I've adjusted to it. It's like I said, those are subjective things. I'm the home handyman's helper. I hope you click subscribe. I hope you like the reviews. You get something out of them. Click on the link below. I will leave the link below in the description where you can actually go to Amazon and you can read more into this, but I think it's worth considering and I think it's a good money saving price at the moment. So I'll talk to you folks again soon on the next video. Drop a comment if you know something better, and I'll see you soon. You folks have a great day. Bye-bye.